Well, for all those who have watched the season finale, Demon Slayer is finally back. Episode 8 is everything I've been waiting for when it comes to Demon Slayer. Amazing choreography, breathtaking animation, high stakes, all of it. And if you know anything about my channel, then you would know that I was very critical of season 3. It just felt lacking in many areas, especially the big one, aka the animation. Like this terrible CGI I would let slide in a show like Overlord, for example, because I'm not watching it for the animation, but Demon Slayer? No. And I'm happy to say that the animation is pretty much back to peak perfection. And while the story itself was obviously a bit slower since it's a training arc, we still got some awesome moments of choreography, even if there were some scenes that left me scratching my head wondering why they have to include something like an airplane tossing competition. Like maybe that could have been left out and we include some other things like character development or seeing the perspective of the antagonist as he slowly builds up for his attack. That would have been kind of cool. Side note, even though we still did kind of get that, I wish we got a little bit more. But all in all, little criticisms aside, it was still a really good season thanks to episode 8. And it's left all of us wondering when the next installment will be released. And this is why I'm making this video. I want to talk about when we're gonna get the next 3 movies. You heard me right, we're not getting a season 5, we are gonna get 3 separate movies. A trilogy to finish off this arc. Which makes sense because anime movies are making money hand over fist. It's insane. I still remember watching Mugen's Train in theaters and it was just fucking mind-blowing. So I can't wait to see what they do with this trilogy. Well, the earliest we can expect the first movie is late 2025. And the reason why everyone is speculating on that date is because Demon Slayer has released something every single year since its second season. So that makes it 3 straight years of getting something from Demon Slayer. So it would make sense if they continued this trend, but it will probably be late 2025 in the fall since it is a movie. It's gonna be a lot to handle. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if some animators died trying to get this out to us. Like, did you see the end of episode 8? It was the most goddamn beautiful thing I've ever seen. Now, for the release date of the other 2 movies, that's a lot more tricky. Maybe it will come out in late 2026 and late 2027 ideally, but there might be complications along the way, which could bump it back a little, but we don't know. But I wouldn't suspect anything later than 2028 or 2029 for the last movie. Personally, I think it makes sense going with movies, not only from a business perspective, but also just for a better product. I mean, the budget you can get for a movie is far greater usually than what you can get for a season, even if it's the last season. The only thing that I'm concerned about is being able to fit the entire season into a trilogy, because you want a reasonable runtime for each of these movies. Even though I find it hard to believe any of the fans bitching and moaning for a longer movie, unless if it's something like terrible pacing, I find that hard to believe, honestly. And just looking at Demon Slayer's last movie, it was around 2 hours. I suspect that each of them are going to be about that runtime, maybe even a tad longer, around 2.5 hours. And if each movie has that type of runtime, then it actually might not be that difficult to convert the season into a trilogy if executed correctly, since a 12 episode season is around usually 4-ish hours and a 24 episode season is around 8-ish hours, so there might have to be a little bit of condensing, but again, if they execute it correctly, it is reasonable. But all in all, I'm really excited for these movies. Comment below how you feel about them, and thanks for watching.